Sorry to break it to you, but my girlfriend who's 20 years younger than you is pregnant. I prefer being with a younger woman, so let's divorce.
Sure, let's divorce, but you have to take care of your son.
Huh? You take him? You've been so into taking care of him until now.
But that kid... I shut my mouth tight. On one side, it's fine if things end with me telling him the truth, but Charlie, who's in the other room, will probably overhear. If he hears, what will he think? And if I just share that so simply, Grayson won't feel the weight of what he's done. All he cares about is his own happiness. I can't forgive him for that. I want to steal his happiness away from him, just like he did to me. With that in mind, I decided to hold on to the truth and drop it on him like a bombshell when the right moment comes. My name is Mary. I'm a 40-year-old housewife. I live together with my husband Grayson and son Charlie, who's in his first year of high school. Grayson and I have been married 10 years. At the time, I was the manager of a cell phone store. I worked hard to demonstrate to our customers the high quality of our phones and support them in choosing the right phone for them. During that time, I met Grayson. He wanted to buy a smartphone to use for work and visited my store multiple times. He had just started a business as an entrepreneur and wanted a smartphone with a lot of business-oriented functions. I worked hard to find the phone that would best suit his needs. He ended up choosing and buying one of the options I offered him. Sometime later, I was out drinking with a friend, and Grayson happened to be at the same bar with a friend of his. He noticed me and sparked up a conversation.
Thank you for your help. The phone has been super useful. If you like, how about we have a drink together? This round will be on me as thanks.
Oh, there's no need for you to treat us.
Come on, you don't need to hold back. And to be honest, I think you're very pretty and caring, and I'm attracted to you.
Huh? Having that suddenly told to me was a shocker. Though the truth is, I also thought he was handsome. My friend suggested that we go along with it since he's offering to treat us, so the four of us ended up drinking together. Grayson and I exchanged phone numbers and began meeting up, just the two of us. As the two of us met up, I learned more about Grayson, and I found out he was divorced and had a son who was 5 years old. Grayson and his son lived together with his parents. He divorced his ex-wife because she had cheated on him, and supposedly he started his own business as a way to push himself past his frustration and anger. He was very kind and a true gentleman. To be able to cheat on such a wonderful man like Grayson, I decided that his ex-wife must be a horrible person. We became closer and closer, and eventually began officially dating. I also soon met his son, Charlie. At first, Charlie was very timid around me, but as we met more, he became more open and talkative. Seeing how Charlie and I got along, Grayson decided to propose.
Unlike my previous marriage, if I'm with you, I believe I'll be incredibly happy. I think Charlie will be happy too. So, will you marry me?
Only a year had passed since we began dating, but I was incredibly happy.
But if you don't want to get married to a man who already has a kid, please just say so.
Grayson suddenly looked uncertain. What are you talking about? Didn't you understand why I wanted to meet Charlie from so early on? It's because I want to marry you.
Huh? Then...
Yes, I will marry you. When I said that, Grayson lifted both his arms in the air and yelled happily.
Yes! Thank you, Mary. I will make you happy.
I'm looking forward to it. And like that, we were going to get married. We met each other's parents to announce the news, and then registered our marriage at City Hall. I didn't care too much about having a ceremony, and since we have a son to take care of, we'll have all sorts of other things to pay for from here on. So we decided to not waste money on a ceremony. Afterwards, the three of us moved and started our new lives together. I thought that if I lived with a kind man like Grayson, I'd definitely be happy. But as soon as we got married, his personality changed. I quit my job when Grayson and I got married in order to spend more time with and get closer to Charlie. Sure, I became a housewife, but Grayson pushed all housework and child raising on me.
Your lives are supported by the money I'm making, so it's only natural you do everything. Get it together.
Saying that coldly, he refused to help even once. Doing the chores on my own is fine, but I wished Grayson would help out more with raising his son. Grayson didn't come with us to Charlie's first day of elementary school, nor did he come to the school sports tournament. Even Grayson's parents went out of their way to attend, but Grayson said he was busy. He never paid attention to anything Charlie said, nor would he ever play with Charlie. I originally imagined we'd go on drives or out shopping together. I imagined that as a father, Grayson would play catch, or anything really, with his son. But on his days off, Grayson would just say he's tired and laze around the house or leave on his own without saying a word. That seemed to make Charlie sad, which hurt my heart to see. He was too uninvolved with his son, to the point I eventually had to speak up. "Can't you play with Charlie a bit more?" When I said that, Grayson's face twisted. He then let out an annoyed sigh.
"Oh, I'm tired from work."
But...
Oh, shut up already. Taking care of him is your job as his mom. Do what you're supposed to do.
What? Where did the Grayson from before we got married go? I couldn't help but feel deeply sad. Grayson's selfish actions just got worse and worse. One day, I got a sudden text from him.
"Well, I'm going to come over with my employees now, so prepare food and drinks."
Huh? He was going to bring some of his employees to our house. Grayson had just become department leader of the company he was working for at the time, so he probably wanted to become closer to new subordinates. I had already prepared dinner for Grayson, but I didn't have enough food for his staff. I was planning to go to the supermarket the next day, so the fridge was empty and we didn't have much alcohol. I quickly rushed to the supermarket, which was about to close, and bought ingredients and drinks. I began cooking the instant I made it back home. I did all I could to prepare in time, but there's only so much I could do on my own. When I was about halfway done, Grayson returned.
"I'm back. Hey, my colleagues are here. Come say hello."
Grayson yelled at me from the front door. I put a pause to my cooking and went to meet everyone. "Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Please come in." After guiding them to the living room, I brought out beer and some light snacks. I then went back and continued cooking. As soon as I'd finished preparing a dish, I'd bring it to our guests and then go back to the kitchen to continue cooking the other dishes. But then Grayson came to the kitchen.
"Bring everything to the guests at once."
Wait, not everything is ready yet. I put out snacks and some simple appetizers, so please eat those for now. As I said that, my husband's mood took a sudden turn for the worse.
"Huh? What have you even been doing this whole time? I messaged you in advance, didn't I?"
You messaged me barely an hour ago. Since you sent that message, I went grocery shopping, came home, and have been cooking non-stop. Don't you think I've prepared quite a lot considering the circumstances?
Give me a break. Are you trying to lay the blame on me? Who do you think is providing you with the money to be able to cook like this? Don't be a nuisance to my colleagues.
Grayson loudly criticized me. The living room and kitchen are close to each other, so I was sure Grayson's staff overheard his angry voice. They all looked very awkward. I didn't want to make them any more uncomfortable than they already were. I quickly apologized and went back to cooking. Letting out a big sigh, Grayson went back to the living room. I'm the one who should be sighing. Repressing my anger, I finished preparing all the food and carried it out with more drinks. Grayson's subordinates left in time for the last train, and immediately he picked a big fight with me.
I didn't think you were such a useless wife.
What are you talking about? I did my best just now.
Shut up. We can't rely on you anymore. I'm not going to bring my colleagues over anymore. My good-for-nothing wife is just going to embarrass me again.
He was going too far. Isn't this why your ex-wife cheated on you? You disgusted her, so she went to another man.
What? Are you making fun of me?
I'm not trying to make fun of you, I'm just sick and tired of you. You never pay any attention to Charlie, and now in order to try to boost your ego, you dragged your colleagues over.
I didn't drag them over. I did this for them.
All their smiles were obviously fake. I'm sure they felt forced to agree to come here for a second round of drinks. They probably just wanted to go home. And then they saw how you got mad at me, and they were put in an even worse mood.
Shut up. You really are a pain in the ass. You should just keep your mouth shut and focus on housework and raising Charlie.
After yelling this, Grayson stomped over to his room. Though it was late at night, Charlie worriedly came over to the living room.
Mom, are you okay?
Charlie, I'm sorry. Did we wake you up?
Well, I haven't been able to sleep much since Dad brought those people from his work over, and then his yelling surprised me awake. He's just being unreasonable. So don't worry about it, Mom.
Charlie consoled me. Though he was in middle school now, he never went through a rebellious phase and always treated me very kindly. I feel like it's thanks to him that I'm able to keep myself relatively sane. Though Grayson and I didn't really get along after this, we had no choice but to talk every once in a while as parents. This time I had to speak to Grayson because I was considering working part-time in order to pay for a tutor for Charlie. Grayson looked really against it.
Part-time job? You just want to go meet new men, don't you?
What are you talking about? This is for Charlie's education. After explaining myself, Grayson somewhat accepted it. From then on, I began working as an office administrator part-time. I thought that this job would make things at home a bit easier. But the combination of my job and all the complaints I would receive from Grayson about even the littlest of things just made me super stressed. One day I got stuck with a lot of tasks at work and had to return home later than usual. I rushed home when I had finished, but that day Grayson had returned unusually early. When I entered the house, he glared at me spitefully.
Hey, where have you been?
I was at work.
Really? You sure you weren't out cheating on me?
What are you talking about? Of course not. No matter what I said, my husband continued to glare at me. He suddenly snatched my phone and commanded me to unlock the home screen. What are you doing? Stop.
Shut up. I'm checking whether you've been in touch with another man.
He forced me to unlock my phone and began looking through all my texts. Seriously, stop it. I'm not cheating on you.
Be quiet.
Grayson pointed at a man's name in my phone contacts.
So this is your lover?
That's my boss. I have his number so I can contact him if I'm taking the day off or something.
Don't lie to me. You're cheating on me with him, aren't you?
Grayson began to call my boss. In a panic, I tried to press the end call button, but since Grayson is taller than me, when he lifted the phone into the air, I could no longer reach it. When my boss picked up, my husband began to curse him out. My boss kept his cool and cleared up the misunderstanding, but I was freaked out. I apologized to my boss countless times and forced Grayson to do so as well.
You were being suspicious. Come on, go make dinner.
He really was the worst. Our relationship became more and more toxic. I wanted to get a divorce, but I felt bad for Charlie. I thought I should hold out at least until Charlie finished high school. One day I finished work a bit earlier than usual and went out to a home goods store in town. Doing so, I noticed that Grayson's car was stopped at the intersection across from me. He was there, talking happily to a woman. The woman was very obviously not someone from work. He doubts me of cheating and then goes out and cheats? No, he probably doubted me exactly because he's cheating. I secretly took a photo of the two of them and then went to a private investigator to look into their relationship. About a month later, I got the results of the investigation. It was just as I thought. He really went and did something ridiculous. You were the one cheating, huh? There's no way I can forgive you. I decided I would divorce him. On Grayson's next day off, he went out in the morning and then returned home relatively early. When he returned home, he suddenly handed me divorce documents.
Sorry to break it to you, but my girlfriend, who's 20 years younger than you, is pregnant. I prefer being with a younger woman, so let's divorce.
Sure, let's divorce, but you have to take care of your son.
Huh? You take him. You've been so into taking care of him until now.
But that kid... I shut my mouth tight. On one side, it's fine if things end with me telling him the truth, but Charlie, who's in the other room, will probably overhear. If he hears, what will he think? And if I just share that so simply, Grayson won't feel the weight of what he's done. All he cares about is his own happiness. I can't forgive him for that. I want to steal his happiness away from him, just like he did to me. With that in mind, I decided to hold on to the truth and drop it on him like a bombshell when the right moment comes. I'm not his legal guardian. Ultimately, he's your son, not mine. If you and I divorce, Charlie and I will become strangers. Grayson looks shocked.
Huh? Then I have to take him with me.
Yeah, that's right.
But I can't do that. I have a child with my new girl, so if I bring Charlie, things will just be awkward. Please, you take care of him.
He really was the worst. He doesn't seem to love his son at all. Legally, I'm just a stranger. I can't raise him. Grayson continued to beg, even going on his hands and knees. How selfish can he get? After making our lives a mess, don't think you can just do whatever you want.
Ugh.
Anyway, I can't take Charlie, and I will be receiving monetary damages from you and your lover.
Huh? Quit joking around. There's no way we will pay that.
What do you mean? You cheated on me. I will receive damages from you, and if you refuse, I will take you to court.
Court?
Grayson looked shook. I knew about your affair.
Huh?
And I already have a lawyer I'm in contact with. I will make sure you pay me. If you don't, my lawyer and I will take you to court and get it from your salary.
What?
He completely lost all hope. He realized that I wouldn't accept anything he said, so he gave up and agreed to pay. I then found an apartment to live in on my own and moved out. Charlie was a high school freshman at this point, so he understood what was going on. Regardless of what his dad said or did, Charlie treated me kindly. Charlie, I'm sorry. I wanted to be together with you as you went through high school and college.
Mom, don't worry. You always took so much care of me. That in itself always made me really happy. From now on, I'm going to live with Grandma. I don't want to live with Dad anyway.
That'd be a relief for me too.
But first, I'm going to live with Dad and his lover for a bit and bully both of them as much as I can.
Charlie said that and grinned. Oh, how fun! Just don't go too far. Charlie was upset at his dad for having an affair and splitting with me. It's Charlie's right to do what he wants, so I wasn't going to stop him. But it seems that afterwards he really did bully his dad's lover. She became so stressed and tired out that she would often cry to Grayson about it. Grayson warned Charlie to stop, but he wouldn't. Ultimately, she ended up returning to her parents' house to give birth in the hospital near her childhood home. Once she ran away, Charlie moved in with his grandparents. Charlie's grandparents really loved Charlie and wouldn't forgive their son for cheating on me, so when they took in Charlie, they also cut off ties with Grayson. Supposedly, Charlie and Grayson don't see each other anymore. Sometime later, Charlie got straight A's on his report card. I went to celebrate together with him and his grandparents. Around that time, Grayson's lover gave birth. Once I heard that, I sent Grayson a special photo. The picture showed Grayson's lover going to another man's house. I found this out from the private investigator, but it turns out Grayson's lover was also seeing another man. So it was unclear whether her baby was Grayson's or not. The photo left Grayson stupefied. He questioned his lover and eventually did a DNA test, only to find out that the baby wasn't his. He chased her out of their house, but since he had already signed and assumed legal parental rights when the baby was born, he had to continue paying her child support. In the end, Grayson was left all alone, stuck paying child support for Charlie and his lover's baby. He's supposedly struggling for money and living a very poor life. Well, he did this all to himself, so it's what he deserves. On the other hand, I was promoted to working full-time at my job. I am happily living on my own while dedicating myself to my work. Charlie gets in touch with me every once in a while, and we spend time together as mother and son. From now, I look forward to continuing to watch over Charlie as he grows up and to living a fulfilling life. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to our channel below. See you next time.